Leaving a narcissist is like trying to escape a swamp. You struggle, desperately grasping at fragile branches to pull yourself out of the muddy pit that traps your feet. And just when you're almost at the edge with your last bit of strength, that hand appears again, trying to pull you back down. "I've changed," the familiar voice echoes, hoarse and filled with supposed anguish. "I realize I was wrong. I can't live without you." Does that sound familiar? That's exactly what often happens when a narcissist realizes you're determined to leave them. Sweet words, promises of change, heartbreaking theatrics, all just their final ploys to reel you back in, to manipulate you into returning to their toxic cycle. But is it worth trusting them one more time? Is it worth trading your own true happiness to sink back into the illusions they create? Today, let's lift the veil of truth together to understand the reactions of a narcissist when they know you're done with them. More importantly, let's empower you to confidently move forward on the path to finding your true happiness. Narcissists are like proud peacocks, constantly craving admiration and attention. They see you as the sole audience in the grand performance of their life, where they always play the starring role. But when you decide to step off that stage, when the spotlight no longer shines on them, they become frantic and desperate. They hide their inner pain behind a cold exterior. Although narcissists may appear to have moved on with ease, they rarely truly forget a past relationship. In their minds, you remain a significant reference point, a standard they use to compare every new relationship. This isn't because they loved or respected you, but because you were once a unique source of emotional supply, a connection they find difficult to replicate. To a narcissist, people aren't individuals. They are objects to exploit, and you, with your emotional responses, empathy, and love, became an ideal object that's hard to replace. After a relationship ends, narcissists often enter a cycle of seeking out new people to fill the void you left. However, these new connections rarely provide the same level of satisfaction as they experienced with you. The reason isn't that you were perfect or irreplaceable, but rather that they lack the ability to build truly deep and genuine relationships. Their interactions revolve around manipulation and exploitation, leading to only temporary gratification without sustainable connection. You, with your unique traits, offered them the emotional validation they craved but could not generate for themselves. Your emotional responses, whether care, love, or even pain, were the fuel that fed their fragile ego. Without you, they lose a crucial source of emotional supply, and no matter how hard they try, new relationships rarely recreate what you once provided. This leads to a state of internal instability, leaving them in a constant search for something they can never truly find. On the surface, they may seem unaffected by the breakup, appearing to move on effortlessly. However, the reality is far more complex. When you step out of the victim role, when you heal from the pain, stand strong, and move forward, the narcissist is left unsure of how to react. They may disappear entirely, pretend to be happy, or deliberately ignore you. This isn't because they don't care, it's because they can't accept the truth that they failed at the manipulation game they created. You broke their cycle, saw through the facade, and recognized the selfishness hidden beneath their charm. When you left, the narcissist was forced to face the pain of abandonment, a deep sense of loss, and the reality that they let someone as incredible as you slip away. While they may attempt to find new targets, no one can truly replace you. Their silence isn't just a strategy, it's also proof of their hurt and their bitter defeat. They avoid the truth, avoid themselves, and avoid you. They know you're thriving. Even if they don't directly search for information about you, they struggle to stop themselves. They avoid your social media, refrain from asking about you, because they know that any news about your healing, your success, or your happiness with someone new, someone who loves and values you as you deserve, will only make them feel worse. They silently watch you. Even after you're no longer together, a narcissist remains haunted by your presence. They are restless, unsettled, and feel as though they're missing something vital when they're not connected to you. But don't be mistaken. Their desire for direct interaction isn't what drives them. They are content to play the role of a spectator, silently observing without expressing, interfering, or engaging. They take satisfaction in watching your life from a distance, especially if they perceive you as struggling. It reinforces their belief that your decision to leave was a mistake and that you're paying the price for it. They don't want you to escape the negative spiral because they themselves remain trapped in the toxic bond they shared with you. The new person they seek out can never fill the void you left behind. Instead, the new supply, often inexperienced or vulnerable, only exacerbates their situation. They gain no growth or fulfillment from these new relationships. Instead, both parties merely settle for each other out of need or fear of loneliness. However, the new partner might believe they've won the narcissist's heart, not realizing they are just another pawn in the same manipulative game. The narcissist cannot change and is merely using them as they once used you. No matter what, though, the narcissist holds onto the belief that you are still theirs. This toxic attachment makes them unwilling to let go, as they cannot accept loss, especially of something they view as their possession. When they watch you, they don't see you as an individual with your own life, but as a misplaced object that needs to be monitored and controlled. They want to see you weak, as it assures them they still have a chance, that you can still be exploited. Be strong, but conceal that strength. Don't let the narcissist see you shine, because your light will only fuel their jealousy and resentment. Let them remain lost in their illusion of control, while you quietly rise above. They want to witness your suffering, your collapse, but show them the opposite. Live well, thrive, and find happiness like never before, but do it in silence. Let your success and joy be a quiet revolution, one they can neither touch nor tarnish. They descend into profound chaos. Like a wounded animal growling in desperation, the narcissist is forced to confront the brutal truth. They no longer have control over you. This realization plunges them into deep turmoil. They attempt to fill the void with acts of desperation, crafting lies, smearing your reputation, and even trying to sabotage your relationships with your children. These fabricated stories are not only a way to shield themselves, but also a futile effort to cover up their inner collapse. It's their way of clinging to the last shred of dignity, even as everything slips out of their grasp. Deep down, they know they've ruined everything: genuine love, valuable relationships, promising careers, and even the self-possession they meticulously constructed. Instead of facing the truth or correcting their mistakes, they choose to escape. They blame you, play the victim, and scramble to regain control. But deep within, they're aware these attempts are fleeting and incapable of salvaging the reality they are grappling with. What drives them even more frantic is the realization that you were the foundation of their success. You were not just their source of energy and inspiration, but also the steady anchor that propelled them forward. Your presence was like a guiding light, helping them mask their inner deficiencies and achieve things they could never have accomplished on their own. But when you chose to walk away, that light was extinguished, leaving them in a vast emptiness. A void they can't escape. Losing you means losing everything. You've reclaimed control of your life, leaving them floundering in a sea of emptiness and helplessness. They desperately cling to anything: stolen ideas, achievements once rooted in your support, even the beliefs you once instilled in them. But now, all of it crumbles. They realize that without you they have nothing. Their life is like a house without a foundation, unstable and on the brink of collapse. This internal chaos makes them more dangerous than ever. Unable to bear the pain and loss, they spiral into cycles of revenge and destruction. They concoct false narratives to draw attention, rally people to their side, and smear your name in every possible way. To them, you're no longer a person with feelings, but a discarded object. They want you to feel as much pain as they do, aiming to hurt you to soothe their wounded ego. But what they don't understand is that you've changed. You are no longer their source of energy, no longer the person tolerating their toxic behavior. You've rediscovered your strength, rebuilt your life, and reclaimed the confidence they once tried to destroy. Your freedom is the ultimate proof of their failure, and this pains them more than anything else. They are like parasites, draining everything from you, but now there's nothing left for them to latch onto. The ideas they stole, the relationships they depended on, none of it can bring them stability. They realize the void inside can't be filled with control or manipulation. Confronted with this truth, they become even more unhinged and desperate. They may search for new sources of supply, but no matter how many people enter their lives, no one can replace you. These new relationships are pale imitations, incapable of offering the support and inspiration you once provided. Their fragile and dependent ego can't stand on its own, and this deepens their spiral of chaos and helplessness. In their minds, you remain a reference point. They don't think of you with love or appreciation, but as the most valuable source of energy they've ever had. They compare everyone new to you, but no one measures up. This only intensifies their dissatisfaction and regret, though they lack the courage to admit the real problem lies within themselves. Looking back, you'll realize that leaving them was the best decision you ever made. While the process was painful and challenging, it freed you from a toxic relationship. They may continue to cling, fabricate stories, and try to pull you back, but you've grown strong enough to say, no, you've regained control of your life, free from their manipulations and lies. By letting go, you've shown them that you are no longer someone they can exploit or control. This not only liberated you from their toxic cycle, but also marked the first step toward building a new life where you are truly yourself, free, strong, and more vibrant than ever. Your freedom and happiness are their greatest defeat. No matter how hard they try, they will never regain control or influence over you, and that is their ultimate lesson. And your greatest triumph? Your decision to walk away symbolizes the end of the days they controlled your emotions and the beginning of your journey to freedom. No matter how hard they try to pull you back into their toxic cycle, your resoluteness is proof of the strength and self-respect you've reclaimed. Leaving a narcissist is never easy, but it's a courageous and liberating step. You chose to stand up for yourself, to find peace, and to reaffirm the personal worth they worked so hard to overshadow. Their angry or manipulative reactions are merely reflections of their powerlessness, a reminder that their grip over you has been broken. Let those behaviors serve as a testament to how far you've come. Keep your boundaries firm, focus on healing, and continue living a life full of freedom, meaning, and joy. Your life now belongs to you alone. A bright new chapter is waiting for you, just ahead.